Hey, Stella, we're hearing this term sovereign AI pop up just everywhere lately, and it's really reshaping how countries are thinking about tech, right? It's not just a buzzword, it's kind of massive.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. I keep seeing it in headlines, but what exactly does that mean? Like, beyond just a catchy phrase, what are we talking about when we say sovereign AI?
Great question. So, at its core, Stella, it's about a nation or a region, really, having the capability to develop, deploy, manage, and totally control its own artificial intelligence ecosystem entirely within its own borders, under their terms. It means having domestic control over the entire AI technology stack, from like the actual physical infrastructure and the data, all the way to the algorithms, the models, and the skilled workforce. It's essentially, well, it's an extension of data sovereignty, but applied to the much broader and, frankly, more impactful realm of AI systems. It's pretty huge.
Wow, okay, so it's not just about data, it's everything. The whole AI pipeline, basically. That's a lot to wrap your head around.
It really is. And to break that down, it encompasses several super critical pillars. First point, you've got data sovereignty, right? This ensures all the data used to train and operate AI systems is stored, processed, and managed locally, strictly adhering to national or regional data privacy laws, like GDPR, for instance. But then, secondly, there's infrastructure autonomy. And this is where nations are really investing heavily in domestic compute power. I'm talking AI accelerators, high-end GPUs, and these massive-scale data centers that people are actually calling AI factories now.
AI factories? Whoa, that sounds intense. So it's about not having to rely on, like, say, foreign cloud providers for their critical AI workloads?
Exactly. It reduces that reliance, ensuring critical AI workloads run on controlled domestic infrastructure. Because, you can't have true sovereignty if your foundational tech relies on someone else's servers. It's like building your house but letting someone else own the land it's on. Doesn't quite work. And this is becoming a really central piece for countries, looking to solidify their digital independence. And then, probably the most profound aspect, Stella, is algorithmic and model sovereignty. This involves developing local large language models and foundational AI models that are trained on national data sets. This is where it gets really interesting because it means they're reflecting specific dialects, cultures, and national values. Think about it. This helps ensure AI tools are inclusive and aligned with the country's unique societal norms, preventing the imposition of external cultural biases often embedded in foreign-made models.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Like, you wouldn't want an AI that's great for one culture but completely misses the nuances of another. That could actually be a pretty big problem. And what about the people side of things?
Absolutely. Finally, it's about cultivating a domestic AI workforce and establishing robust governance and control frameworks. You need those policies and ethics to align with local legal structures, right? Because who's going to manage all this sophisticated tech? It needs to be homegrown talent that understands the local context. So, the big question, right? Why is sovereign AI such a rapidly emerging trend? The reasons are multifaceted and honestly deeply strategic. First and foremost, it's about national security and strategic autonomy. As AI becomes more and more integrated into like critical infrastructure, defense systems, cybersecurity, governments are realizing the immense vulnerabilities of relying on foreign AI technologies. Imagine your defense systems dependent on a model from a potential adversary. That's not a good look.
Yeah, no kidding. That's actually pretty terrifying to think about. So, sovereign AI is like a national imperative for protecting national interests in a very complex geopolitical world.
Exactly. And secondly, economic competitiveness and innovation are super powerful drivers. Nations see sovereign AI as a key vehicle for stimulating domestic AI innovation, creating high-value jobs, and just keeping the economic benefits generated by AI within their own borders. By fostering a local AI ecosystem, countries aim to capture a significant share of the rapidly growing global AI market and, critically, protect domestically generated intellectual property. It's really about economic self-reliance, too. Then there's the crucial aspect of data privacy and protection, Stella, with, the proliferation of strict data regulations like GDPR we talked about. Countries are compelled to ensure sensitive data processed by AI applications remains within their jurisdiction. It's about maintaining compliance and, honestly, citizen trust.
Right, I get that. You don't want your personal data floating around somewhere it shouldn't be, especially with AI getting so good at processing it all. And you mentioned culture earlier, too. That's really important.
Absolutely. The need for cultural and linguistic preservation really can't be overstated. AI models trained predominantly on foreign data may not adequately understand or represent local languages or nuances or cultural contexts. Developing sovereign models ensures that AI can serve and enhance local cultures, including, the preservation and revitalization of indigenous languages. And finally, the sheer rise of generative AI has just amplified all of this. Tools like large language models, their pervasive potential has made the implications of external reliance far, far more significant, accelerating this imperative for nations to develop their own capabilities.
So it's not just a technology anymore. It's like a utility, like electricity or roads, right?
Totally. Governments are now increasingly viewing AI not just as a technology, but as fundamental national infrastructure, much like transportation or energy, requiring strategic domestic control. The race for sovereign AI is truly on, and it's shaping our world.